Hey everybody, Solomon Shinola here, doing the quick little thoughts for the weekend for this Friday, 6/14, or 6/15 actually, June 15th already, halfway over. Wow. But yeah, anyway, I didn't know I was going to have time to do it. I decided to run home at lunch and just knock it out real quick, and only because I was reading the story that I saw Obama in his weekly Rose Garden speech this morning, where he announced that no longer is the Department of Justice going to deport anybody. He's just decided that from this point forward, no longer are they going to deport young people who are in this country illegally, and saying that he's going to help them out instead. He's going to go ahead and just give them a work visa so that they can at least work and make some money while they're here. This is the backdoor amnesty that people have been talking about. And the big kerfluffle, if you will, regarding this is the fact that a reporter actually stood up and questioned him and said, wait a second, you're favoring foreigners over Americans? And people are like, this has nothing to do with foreigners and America. It has everything to do with politics in this election year, because what this does is guarantee that these people not only can stay in this country, but then if you're in Mexico and you want to come to this country and you think, well, wait a second, I can get up there legally right now, illegally, and get myself a work visa and go get a job, and there's, plenty of low-paying jobs out there, seemingly low-paying jobs, seemingly available. What about all the Americans that are out of work? What about the millions in this country that can't find work? And now you're going to grant work visas to all these people that are in the country illegally just because you feel sorry for them? Because you think that if I do this, that we can go ahead and get Acorn and all of its new affiliated groups, you can get them to go out and get these people registered for voting? Oh, because that's right, they can go vote. Why not? Because all you got to do is get them registered. Because as everyone knows, the federal government also files lawsuits against any state that has been trying to implement voter ID laws. And in most states, especially like in California and others, there's no ID required. In fact, as a precinct worker, somebody who works during the elections at the polls, it's against the law for me to ask for ID. I can't tell you how many people come in and the first thing they want to do is pull out their ID and show me their ID. And I have to decline and say, I'm sorry, I can't ask for that, I can't look at that. I just tell me what your name is and where you live. That's all we need to know. That's all we can ask for legally. And it's a shame, because I think some of the recent surveys that they've done show that it's somewhere in the 70th percentile of Americans that think ID should be required to vote. I think it's like 68% of African Americans think that they should have to show ID to vote. I don't think there's anybody out there that feels like it's disenfranchising them because they have to show ID, whether it's state or federal ID to be able to vote. I'm not necessarily a fan of the national ID card. I think the states ought to be able to determine that themselves and figure out what the best form of identification is. I tend to want to, steer away from anything federal. Leave it to the states. It's just the libertarian in me coming out. But this really just ticked me off when I was reading about this and the president's remarks. And good for the reporter for standing up and asking the question in the middle of the speech. Though it breaks all decorum and etiquette, the fact is, the moment the president was done with the speech, he was going to do what he does every time he gives a speech in the Rose Garden, turn and walk away and not answer one question. And then leave it up to Jay Carney to stutter through for the next few days, trying to answer to the reporters what the president meant. Because it's not intended for you people to figure out and understand what the king wants and what he means. You'll just do what he says, be obedient little slaves, and get back to work, if you happen to have a job. If not, don't forget to vote in November. So, I don't know. I was going to talk about the unemployment insurance claims going up again. This time a reported increase. The jobs picture is looking worse and worse. It's going to be the worst summer for employment for youth, in many, many, many years. I had a story to talk about. I was going to talk about the man in Texas that beat the guy to death when he walked in on him molesting and raping his daughter, his 4-year-old daughter, and how there's people out there now. The discussion is, when is too far, and it's like, you know what? Really, we're having that discussion? You walk in on somebody molesting or raping your 4-year-old daughter, and you're going to debate whether he was justified or not, if he went too far? Seriously? Is there even a question in your mind that the father didn't have the right to protect his daughter? And I'm sorry, I think I would be a little temporarily insane at that moment myself, and put an end to that man's life right there, rather than holding him for the authorities so that he could be arrested, that he could go to trial, and assuming you could get a trial and actually get justice, the guy might serve, a 20-year sentence, of which he'll get out after 12, 15 years, maybe less with our crowded population. And then he'll have to register as a sex offender, but then he'll have ample opportunity to go and do it all over again to somebody else's daughter. I'm sorry, if you believe that the guy went too far and he wasn't justified in killing the man, assuming it was exactly as the police report said that, he did this and how it worked out, assuming no other facts come out that maybe he had it in for this guy and used that as an excuse, and that the rape molestation never actually happened, that he just killed the guy for the heck of it. Assuming none of those, assuming we go with the facts from the police report as reported, then if you think that the guy has no right to kill the guy who's raping and molesting his 4-year-old daughter, then maybe you ought to step up and go find yourself a nice tall tree and a short rope. I don't have much patience for people that think that there's justice in this world for people who do things to young children. It just... Sorry, can't go there. Could have talked about economical issues. The euro's about to implode. Greece has its election on Sunday. Yeah, I don't think it's going to implode just like that if the Nazi party or the anti-bailout party gets control. I don't think that means that the EU is going to fall apart the next day. I think it's going to take a little while. They'll still try to negotiate some kind of settlement. It's all a matter of, will Germany cave or not? Will the German people decide that they can go ahead and bail everybody out and cover everybody, because they're going to lose their money anyway. I could have talked about China threatening to impound jets over the carbon emissions taxes and such, CO2 emissions, and I think that's just funny. Yeah, they want all of the Americans and others to follow these green laws and carbon emission taxes and all that, offsets and so forth, and then one of the biggest polluters in the world, China, looks at them like, what, you're going to impose this on me? I'll just confiscate all your jets. Crazy. I'm going to link a speech given in the European Parliament over the bailouts, and where a British MP went on a rant talking about the ridiculousness of the EU and the bailouts, and how it forces people like Italy to bail out Spain. Spain got $120 billion. I think it was 100 billion euros, which works out to 125 billion US dollars. So 100 billion euros. And he talked about how absurd it is, because it forces the EU member countries, Italy, for example, Italy has to cover 20% of that. Italy's broke. But yet, under the rules of the EU, they have to contribute 20% of that bailout. Which means, as he explains in his little rant, it's great, Italy has to go out and take out loans for that 20% at current rates of 6% on the open market, and guarantee those loans to Spain at 3%. So it guarantees Italy's losing money on the deal for money that it doesn't even have, that it has to go out and borrow. It's maddening. that people think that this fiat currency system around the world is going to keep going on. It doesn't have much time left. It really doesn't. Anyone that thinks that's crazy. And these idiots, these morons out there that think that Bitcoins, that electronic currency is the answer, you've got something wrong with you. I got some Maple Story bucks that my son left around that, you know, maybe I can sell those to you. Really? You're going to buy into a digital currency that has nothing backing it except the good faith of mankind? I think the largest Bitcoin holder in the U.S. Got his account hacked and all his money taken by hackers. And you're going to put your faith in that? Wow. I'm sorry. Delusion just is running amok out there. So, I even had some good news out there. I was going to talk about Burger King and how they're going to come out with a bacon sundae. Apparently it's already been available in the South. And I can't wait for it to come. Maybe I'm just going to eat myself to death, you know. Just get it over with. If not, to top that off, I got a video link below. It's my video of the week, showing that the zombies, it's real. The zombie attacks are everywhere. You know, you've been reported on it the last couple weeks. You've seen the stories. You've heard about it in Texas and up in the New England area. You know, I was in Connecticut. I don't even know, Maryland. It's all the same. Big liberal cesspool up there. Sorry guys that live up there, but come on, seriously, look around. Miami, Florida. Anyway, check out the video. They have actual video of these zombies running around attacking people, and it's just ridiculous. It looks like towards the end of the video, one of the zombies actually gets beat down by a group. So, you know, it's a bullet to the head. That's how you stop a zombie, right, Brooklyn? Bullet to the head. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for this weekend. Wow, just work on your preps. Work on making sure you're prepared for anything, any eventuality, whether it be a tornado or a hurricane, earthquakes, or economic collapse. Just work on getting yourself ready. Just, wow. If you believe a politician is the answer and that the government's going to save you, just do me a favor, leave your garage and your supplies unlocked, alright? Make it a lot easier for us to pick these things up after you've long left this earth. That's all I got for this weekend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Spend some time with your family. SOS out.